Well, that was kind of a nice little song. What's up, everybody? Back again, because I promised you guys I would be on today. So what's up, everybody? We're going to take a look at a lot of stuff today. Levels that Bitcoin's never broken in a bull market. Of course, talking about still in extreme fear, right? We'll talk about the times that we've been in extreme fear in the past, and why, it's one of those things where, everything seems hopeless when you're in extreme fear on the Fear and Greed Index. All right. There's a bunch of shit we're going to talk about today, man. We're going to look at some clues on a bunch of charts. Total market cap still holding my kind of line in the sand level, still holding it, still rock solid above it, still remain bullish as long as we hold this on a weekly close. And once again, we're still kind of holding on the weekly. So let's get it, man. Hope everyone's good out there. It's, Tuesday today? It's Taco Tuesday. Let me know if you're making tacos. I'm not making tacos today. And matter of fact, the only thing I can eat tonight is a protein shake, which is kind of depressing. It is what it is. Today's one of my low calorie days. So I gotta not even eat a protein shake, drink a protein shake tonight. It's kind of depressing, man. I don't really want to talk about it, bro. All right. Anyways, what's up, Vikey, Randy, Jim, Moon, Tommy, Verhoofdy, Lasers, cutting today? Dude, I've been cutting for the last 3 months. It's been great, man. I'm probably in the best shape that I've been in years, dude. It's freaking fantastic. Anyways, let's talk Bitcoin. I wanted to jump on in today, seeing as the market's not really doing too much. If we kind of zoom in, Bitcoin, a little move up today, now coming back down. Not really concerned with the short-term time frames, guys. As we kind of talked about, the more concerned about the high time frames. But, anyways, I want to talk about today the 50-week moving average and the 50-week exponential moving average, and how Bitcoin's never broken those in a bull market, guys, right? The only times it's broken below the 50-week moving average or exponential moving average is when it started a bear market, right? And this is just plain facts. This is not even looking back, that far. It's just kind of looking at, at least our past 3 bull markets and saying, whenever we break in this, that means bad things. But every time we've come down to it, we come into extreme fear, right? So we're going to talk about that today. And you guys can see that we have not hit the 50-week moving average or exponential moving average just yet. But you can see that where did we bottom in the last 2 consolidations was right at the 50-week MA and 50-week EMA. And right, that was back over here in August 2024 and September 2024, right? Extreme fear, panic, Japan carry trade, Germans selling Bitcoin, a bunch of bad shit going on down here that actually ended up marking the low before we moved up, right? And then you had it back over here in September and August of 2023, right? 50-week EMA and 50-week MA was the low, right? Before we ultimately moved up, right? Down here, I don't think there was that much bad news. I think it was just more of a boring freaking market. But you can see the last 2 times those marked the lows before we had, obviously Bitcoin had, 194% move here and a 120% move there. And you can see we haven't got to that level yet, right? And we kind of discussed that yesterday of maybe Bitcoin, if we kind of zoom in, I guess we'll stay here. Maybe Bitcoin has to come down and make one more low into these, right? And then we consolidate for a bit, which would be fine. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin still sees the mid 70s, just based on what we've seen in the past. But, it's not even just this bull market. You guys can see that those mark the last 2 lows of the consolidations. If we even go back to last bull market, right, you can see that we had the COVID crash below here, right? But once you got back above, you didn't go below it. You had this mid-cycle correction right back to the 50 EMA and 50 MA. Bounce. Once you broke that, right, which was this candle right here, it was GG, it was over. Sayonara, suckers. Call it quits. Come back in a year, right? That was that right there. But it wasn't until you broke the 50-week MA and 50-week EMA, right? So we could say it was that one, and then we actually go back to 2017. 2017 was more of a monster. You only really tested it once, but you stayed above it the whole time. You bounced it here, broke below it there, turned into resistance, come back in a year, right? So, here we are again, back at the 50-week MA and 50-week EMA. Will it hold like it did the last two times, or will we break below? I think it's kind of interesting that, we're back at these levels, right? And we kind of look at two things. Where we are in the fear and greed index, okay? We actually hit the lowest on the fear and greed index, which is kind of funny, dude, because Bitcoin literally is at like, let's just call it 90K, right? It's at 87, but let's call it 90. Bitcoin's literally at 90K, and it was lower on the fear and greed index than the FTX crash. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But literally the lowest on the fear and greed since July of 2022, after we had the Luna collapse and the Voyager and Celsius collapse and all that shit, literally was at the same level, which is kind of crazy, right? And if you just look at the last three times that we've been at major extreme fears, right? June of 2022, that was a fantastic point, right? You did get a nice little rally there. I think that was like a 50% rally. You had the FTX lows right here. Obviously, good point. Back over here in August and September, right over here. Fantastic point. And here we are again with, extreme fear sentiment in the market as we go into the 50-week MA and 50-week EMA, right? And it's kind of like, just kind of sometimes we make this a little difficult, but you kind of look at this and say, okay, whenever it's an extreme fear, you probably should be bullish. Whenever it's an extreme greed, you probably should be kind of bearish, right? If you just look at it, extreme fear, you should be bullish, right? Extreme greed, you should be bearish. Extreme fear, you should be bullish. Extreme greed, you should probably be a little bearish. Now we're back at extreme fear again, right? So, I mean, you just kind of look at where we're at. Not going to tell you what to do or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now in the world, but there was a lot of things going on in the world right here and right here. Touche. Now we're back into extreme fear again, right? So my gut tells me that I should be bullish here, even if Bitcoin comes down and makes a little lower low, which I think it can, right? I think it can make a very, maybe a slightly lower low into 75K. Just don't be surprised because we have not hit into this band yet, which we don't have to, right? It's not like we have to hit into the band, right? We could just like front run it and go. But you can see the last two times we did go into it for a few weeks, right? We did go into it for a few weeks. So don't be surprised if we do see between like 74 and 77 over the next few weeks. I would not be shocked. And that wouldn't come as a surprise to me. It really would not. It's also like two things, right? We look at extreme fear. We also look at where we are in the Bitcoin cycle. All right, we are a little bit behind now, but we have been behind in this bull market in the past, right? We were behind over here in 2023. We ended up catching up, right? We were also behind over here in 2024. We ended up catching up. Now we're behind again, right? For whatever reason, we kind of slightly fall behind for a little bit, but we're behind again, right? So will we see the catch up? My guess is still yes. Where we could be wrong, once again, because there's always a point where we could be wrong, fellas. Still watching total market cap, man. This is the chart I'm watching, and this is the chart where I'm staring at this and I'm going, dude, we are white knuckling it on top of that March high. We had 1 week where we flushed. This week we flushed down again, still holding in there. Okay, it's been 2 weekly candles where we wicked below, but we are still holding the line like a beast. Could we wick lower? Yes. And we probably will if Bitcoin is going to go down to the mid 70Ks, which it may or may not, whatever. If it does, we're probably going to go below this, but I want it to be a wick. I don't want to see closes below there. All right, so as long as it's a wick, whatever, No closes though, por favor. We start to get weekly close below here. I don't think that looks very good. But nevertheless, we're still above and we're still holding the green box of glory. All right. So as of right now, things are fine. How's everyone in the chat, by the way? Wayne said bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Send my money to the broker, but my broker was high. I wanted to buy ETH, but Wayne told me to buy BTC, and I listened to him because BTC is the best. And I don't want to buy frickin' ETH. ETH sucks, she's a frickin' bitch. She never moves up, but Bitcoin does. Oh, man, I'm out of breath. I'm out of freaking breath. I'm out of breath, man. All right. You ready for the 9 p.m. speech? Let's go. Dude, there's a speech at 9 p.m. The frick? But yeah, so that's that. The other thing is, right, if we kind of combine this, I just want to show you guys this too. Okay. This is the money, the M2 money supply of the world. Okay. And we've looked at this a few times. All right, but I want to show you guys this again. The M2 money supply is going up, okay? So I kind of wanted to show you guys this. It's very interesting. All right, so this is the M2 money supply. And what we basically did is, I actually put it on 50. It's a little bit more accurate. We move this over to the right 50 days. Now, why did we move this over to the right 50 days? Because you guys know we've looked at this a million times, right? I've showed you guys this chart a million times of whenever M2 money supply goes up, crypto goes up. Whenever M2 money supply goes up, crypto goes up. Whenever M2 money supply goes up, crypto goes up. But what I've noticed, it actually front runs. It front runs a little bit, right? M2 money supply always front runs the crypto moves, right? And it kind of makes sense, right? Maybe the money needs time to get to these freaking small assets like crypto. I guess Bitcoin's not small anymore. Bitcoin's kind of like its own freaking thing. But this is one thing I'm watching, right? And it gives me a little bit more confidence in seeing another move up. All right. So I move this over 50 days. And if we move it over 50 days, what you'll notice is the M2 money supply lows come in right around the Bitcoin lows, right? So you can see M2 money supply bottoms. This comes up, Bitcoin comes up. Money supply goes down, Bitcoin consolidates. Right here, you had the ETFs, right? So Bitcoin kind of front ran a little bit. But once again, you hit a low here on Bitcoin. M2 money supply hit a low. M2 money supply moves up. Bitcoin moves up. M2 money supply goes down. Bitcoin goes down, right? Bitcoin hits a low. M2 money supply hits a low. M2 money supply moves up. Bitcoin moves up, right? So you can see, dude, it's literally the exact match of Bitcoin, right? And I've made this argument, dude, that nothing else in the world matters, bro. Literally nothing else in the world matters besides how much new money's coming into the markets. Call it a Ponzi scheme. Dude, the markets are kind of a Ponzi scheme. They really are. They really just follow the money supply, right? If money supply went down forever, guess what? So would Bitcoin. It is what it is. But that's why Bitcoin's a good hedge against inflation. But anyways, if we kind of look up here, okay, you can see that if this follows again, and it may or may not follow again, guys. This is just a pattern that we've seen in this bull market. There's going to be a time where M2 money supply moves up and Bitcoin still goes down. It happens all the time. But in so far in this bull market, we've seen that when this goes up, Bitcoin goes up. But if we just look at it now, all right, you can see that starting here, M2 money supply went down, Bitcoin went down. But you can see M2 money supply hit a low right here. And where did Bitcoin hit a low? Bitcoin, let me just stretch this out a little bit. There we go. Hold on. I'm trying to stretch this out, fellas, to make it a little bit more clear. Let me just get rid of these. But you can see that M2 money supply hit a low here, and so did Bitcoin. And you can see that M2 money supply is now moving up. So my guess is, over the course of the next few weeks, maybe Bitcoin still makes another low or whatnot, whatever, right? Maybe we talked about mid 70Ks. May or may not happen. But my guess is that if this continues to move up, Bitcoin will also move up, right? Right in time for the cycle, right? Right in time for the cycle. Right in time that we get extreme fear. Right in time that we come into the 50-week moving average. Let me bring that up again. Boop. Boop, boop. Right in time that we come into the 50-week moving average again. Right here. Right here. Almost. Not yet. Still could get one more move down. I think the timing makes perfect sense, right? So that's kind of my argument, is we're seeing M2 money supply go up. Bitcoin usually follows like 50 days afterwards, and we're about 50 days afterwards now. We're coming into the 50-week moving averages. We got extreme fear on the fear and greed index. We're about at that point of the cycle where we should be moving up at this point. So that's kind of my thought process on BTC. All right. Now that this is BTC, this is not really altcoin talk, but this is purely Bitcoin talk today, at least so far. This is, I think, obviously Bitcoin's the barometer of really anything in the freaking world. Yeah, so that's that. That's kind of my Bitcoin thoughts today, guys, is maybe we have to go down to the mid 75s, right? 74, 75K to go back into those 50-week moving averages. But nevertheless, when we do, I'm expecting Bitcoin to follow the M2 money supply into new highs afterwards. Okay? So that's that. All right, I'm going to talk to the chat. We'll talk to the chat for a little bit, and we'll look at some alts. Alts are a little bit, I'd say a little bit less clear, I think. Definitely less clear on alts. We'll start with ETH in a bit, but ETH is just, it's ETH. It's ETH. Well, what can you say about ETH? You know what I'm saying? What's up, dude? Mike, Liberian, Waterfly. Is that a lower high in the money supply currently? It is right now, yeah. But I look at it as on the daily. Right, the daily's still up, moving up. Right, so as of right now, yeah, it's a lower high. But it's still moving up. So we don't really know if it's going to be a lower high yet or if it's going to keep going up. Time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. Of course, just like anything, time will tell. But so far, this has been pretty accurate. It's been really freaking accurate. May not be accurate this time. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Remember the simple days of being a Zeta community member? Dude, I remember those days. I remember those days until meme coins came in and pumped fun and kind of ruined the crypto market temporarily, in my opinion. The meme coin phase kind of ruined crypto for a bit. But I think we're getting that back under wraps. I do think we're getting back to the roots. I think we're getting back to where we should be. And I'm good. I'm happy to see the meme coin meta kind of going away for a bit, which I think is great. All right, man. You got 10K CRV or GRT? CRV. I love the CRV chart, actually. A high time frame, I love the CRV chart. I actually might buy some more over the next few days. I kind of want to see if Bitcoin's going to get one more low. It may or may not. But if it does, I probably will add some CRV to the bag if Bitcoin comes down again. If it doesn't, I'm happy with my stash. If it does, sayonara. Well, not sayonara, but sayonara to the cash. All right, talk about ETH. I don't know, man. Like, this is a big level on ETH, dude. 2K right here is a big level on ETH. I almost feel like, you should get a bounce here. It just would make sense to get a bounce here, just from a simple TA perspective. But you never really know with this this thing, right? I'm going to call ETH a thing because it really is just a thing. But yeah, I mean, just look at ETH, man. I mean, like, major lows, major highs, major highs, major highs, major highs. You've kind of swung fail this low, but like that's a major level, man. You should bounce here. And a normal asset would at least get a relief bounce up. Will you or will you not is the question. I don't really know, to be honest. Kind of think obviously it's going to depend on Bitcoin at the end of the day. But I really do want to see ETH hold here. I do think that if you break this, it's going to go quickly down to 1,500. And that's actually where I want to buy ETH, is right in here. I may or may not get it, but if I do, that's where I'm looking to scoop some up. If I get the chance. I'm kind of being greedy, and maybe my greediness will be the reason that we bounce, right? But I'm kind of being greedy. I would love to pick up some ETH down here around this like 1,500 level. But, it's kind of one of those things where like you should bounce here, even if it's just this, right? But you may or may not, depending on what Bitcoin's next move is. If Bitcoin goes to 75K, you best bet ETH is going to break down, right? And it's going to go down to that level. You best bet. If Bitcoin doesn't go to 75K, and Bitcoin actually just bounces from here, which I think is possible too, we just talked about it, ETH probably just bounces. You know what I mean? So it's really just depends on Bitcoin. I'm really not too... I don't know. This chart just doesn't... When you just look at this chart, to me, it just does not look bottomed. But maybe that's the reason why it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Who freaking knows? But I just know that I'm not really interested here. If it goes here, I'd love to scoop some up on like a capitulation down here. But touche. Who would not like... I mean, there's probably a lot of you guys that would not like to buy some 1,500 ETH. Who knows? But yeah, depends on what Bitcoin does, I think, in the next few weeks. If Bitcoin wants to take another leg down, so will ETH. If Bitcoin doesn't, it's probably going to get a relief bounce. But will that relief bounce be like the bounce that gets it into new all-time highs? Also depends on Bitcoin. I actually want to talk about the utility coins, guys. I mean, what coins are doing the best? It's XRP, which I've talked about many, many times. How XRP is just the strongest coin in this whole time frame, right? It continues to be. And it just is. Cardano is super, super strong. Just focus on the coins that get the best bounces when the market does. If you're going to buy alts, right? HBAR still looks super, super strong, right? It's the coins that pumped the most during this time period that continue to hold the best. So I believe once Bitcoin finds a low, which I do think is coming soon, like we just talked about, once Bitcoin finds a low, whether Bitcoin does this or Bitcoin just wants to bounce here, whatever it does, these are the coins that are going to do the best, right? These are the coins that are going to bounce the best. It's not going to be meme coins. I think it's going to be, XRP, HBAR, Cardano, Chainlink, CRV, even Crow, which has been ass. But all the coins that pumped the best in November last year, I think will pump the best again. And you can just see it. You can just see it whenever Bitcoin's up a lot. Just look at what's up the most. And I think those are going to be the best plays when the market finally turns around, which I do think is coming soon. May not feel like it right now, but it never feels like it when you're in extreme fear, right? It didn't feel like it right here, dude. You had the Germans selling. You had the Japan carry trade. You had wars going on, bro. it felt like ass right here, right? It felt like ass down here after the FTX lows, right? Every single crypto company exploded besides Coinbase. You know what I mean? It never feels like that when you're in extreme fear, right? And obviously right now we're in extreme fear, which I think is kind of funny because Bitcoin's at 87K, but we're in extreme fear. It is what it is. But once again, I think the coins that pumps the best in November to December are going to be the plays. Once Bitcoin decides it wants to not be a sleeping beauty, because we all know Bitcoin's a sleeping beauty. Yeah. Anyways, we just kind of look at it. Chainlink. Right? What I think is interesting though, if we want to talk some like midterm TA, which I haven't done in a while, kind of feeling it today though. For the first time in this downtrend, let me just pull this up. For the first time in this downtrend, do we actually have some bullish divergence? We have not seen this yet. This is the first time on these alts that we have bull divs forming here, right? So like on Chainlink, right? 3 drives to the low, 3 drives to the highs, right? On the RSI, you can look at, CRV, which I think is interesting level. Like I want to buy more CRV down here, but I'm hoping I get one more low. Once again, I'm being greedy, but I guess it's better to be slightly greedy. CRV, right? For the first time in these downtrends, you're getting, right, higher lows in the RSI, lower lows on price. You can really look at all of them, dude. They all have similar things. I'm not going to show you guys like every single one because they don't all have it. Don't get me wrong. They don't all got it. But a lot of them do. A lot of them do. And then there's other ones that, I guess don't yet. But yeah, that's really that. It's the same coins, guys. I think as far as altcoins goes, if you're going to buy altcoins, once again, Bitcoin should be your biggest holding, I think, still. But if you're going to buy alts, I think it should be utility coins. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be utility coins. I don't see people aping into memes anymore, right? I mean, look at the bonk chart, man. Full-on capitulation with full-on capitulation, right? PopCap, full-on capitulation. Fartcoin, full-on capitulation, right? I just don't, in my opinion, I've said this many, many times, I think meme coins are dead, and I think this is going to be the best possible thing for the market. Once the market turns around, this is a blessing in disguise. If you're in utility coins, it's a blessing in disguise that these memes are capitulating. Absolute blessing in disguise. We don't even notice it yet. But in my opinion, this is the best possible thing that could have happened because all this money that was in all these memes, right, I think is going to flow into, stuff like Chainlink, XRP, Cardano, anything with utility. I think it's going to flow into these coins. All that money, bro. There was a lot of money in those freaking memes, man. Still is a lot of money in the memes. But yeah, that's still my base case. It's taking a little bit longer than I expected. It is what it is. But that's still the base case for me. Once this, whatever you call this, consolidation, pullback, whatever you want to call it, is over for Bitcoin. Which, like I said, I think is coming soon based on what we talked about earlier. You bullish on Ondo? Yeah. Ondo's a utility coin. I'm bullish on it, bro. I think short term, who knows? Right? Bitcoin chops around more, probably see a little bit more bloody blood. Who knows short term? But yeah, I think Ondo's fine. It's fine. It's final. I think when the market moves up, Ondo will be a good play. Can't really speak too much on it. But, you know, once again, like, you just kind of look at this chart and, you know, I think it's good. It's going to depend, short term, it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. We all know this, guys. But you took the wick. You took the wick twice. And for the first time in this downtrend, which is great, great to see, the first time in the downtrend on the 12-hour, we finally have bullish divergence. For the first time in the downtrend. Right actually into this major level here. Right? Previous highs, previous lows, previous highs. But for the first time in this downtrend, this whole freaking thing, you did not have it once. But now for the first time, you got 3 lower lows, 3 higher lows at a major level. Let's see what happens, bro. And these fail all the time. This could fail and we could just go down and say sayonara, suckers. But for the first time, if we're just looking at TA, we're back at major level with, right, higher lows, lower lows. Let's see if it plays out. It may or may not play out, bro. But it's there. And we can't argue it. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see what happens. Shit. Big move for ADA coming. Dude, I mean, ADA was up 60% the other day. ADA was up 60% the other day, man. Which is crazy. And then it retraced, you know, over half that move. But that was crazy, man. I remember looking at my phone and I'm like, ADA's up 60%, what the frick? And I looked at the news, I'm like, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Like, okay, XRP's up 30%. All right, whatever. XRP's been hot. But ADA's up 60%. I'm like, bro, what the heck? But yeah, same thing for all these alts, man. It's waiting on Bitcoin to find some type of low. And really, like, I don't know. One thing I will say, guys, is that I wouldn't get your hopes up for Friday. Go into Friday with expectations that we will dump. Okay? So what I'm doing is, obviously Friday we have that crypto summit, the first ever crypto summit ever from the White House. I'm skeptical. I'm going into that with the expectation that we will dump, so that when we do, I will not be surprised. But it's been a long time, and maybe this time is different. I ain't trading it this way. But I can't remember the last time we had a crypto conference where or summit or, you know, major thing that happened that we did not sell off. I can't remember the last time that has happened. I just, you know, so Friday, I know it's going to be a lot of people talking about it, a lot of excitement going into Friday for the crypto summit. Just don't be surprised if we sell off because it's not as great as everyone thought it was going to be, or we do pump and it sells off because it's a sell the news event. I would not be shocked at either of those. Like, I could see the price action until Friday. Maybe we kind of continue to chop up. Friday comes around, right? And it's, we don't get the news everyone wanted. We come take these lows. Everyone's in extreme fear again. But in reality, yeah, we're coming into the 50-week moving average. We go into the 50-week moving average again. People are in extreme fear, hopeless, right? And then we find some type of cycle low, right? Just like we did over here. Just like we did over here. It would not shock me to see something like that. But obviously I'm hoping that something good comes out of it. I'm hoping that my mind is blown on Friday and it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm hoping that it is the greatest thing since sliced bread and we pump, you know, to 150K straight from here, right? That's obviously what I'm hoping for. But I would not be shocked if there's like some bamboozling on Friday, because I cannot remember the last time there's been a crypto thing and we've gone up because of the crypto thing. Does anyone else remember the last time? I think the last time that's happened was probably the last time that's probably happened was probably when Tesla bought BTC. I mean, when Tesla bought BTC. Yes, I'm chugging the jug. It's a good jug. Am I still selling in May and going away? I mean, that's the plan. I mean, as long as we pump into May. If we don't pump into May, I mean, it's going to be a weird freaking time, man. I don't know what we're going to do if we don't pump into May. Not necessarily like I don't know what we're going to do, but then it just becomes cloudy because, dude, every single May, like every single summer has been shit. Right? So will this year be different and like the summer's good? I don't know. But like every summer, so like this is, May to August, absolute shit. May to August, absolute shit. This is 2022. May, obviously, absolute shit. May 2021, absolute shit. I mean, you can even go May of 2020 was kind of shitty too. May 2019 was like the last May that was kind of good. You have to go back 6 years to find a good May or like a not a shitty May, right? We can even go back over here. May 2018 was ass. I think May 2017 and June 2017 was ass. There's only been one time where May and June were good. One time, bro. In the last 7 or 8 years that May and June were good. So like if we don't, that's kind of like, it's like, I still think, it's just my personal opinion, that we'll get a pump into May. How high, I don't know. And then like May and June will be ass because May and June are always ass. Literally every single year, May and June are ass. But the issue is if we don't, which is always possible, like nothing's guaranteed in this market, man. Like literally nothing's guaranteed. If we don't pump into May and June, which would probably be something like total market cap breaking down, Bitcoin breaking the 50-week moving averages. If we don't, then it's like, then we have to kind of look at something. But that's still my thoughts, man. Even though it hasn't happened yet, it's really testing the patience, man. It really knows how to get to you. It really does, man. Felipe, your thoughts on new Crow proposal to mint an extra 70 billion supply? What is this? Dude, why every time I'm a Crow holder, they do shitty things? Every time, man. And then every time I'm not a Crow holder, it goes to the moon. I mean, it really is crazy. I don't know. You want my honest opinion on Crow? We talked about it yesterday, dude. I kind of look at this chart and I wouldn't be surprised if it tested this level again, 5.7 cents, which I guess is not, no, sorry, not. Why does it say 7 cents? Where is this? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it tested 5.6 cents again. Just looking at this chart, man, right? You got 1, 2, 3. You wanted to hold a higher low, but now you've come down here. I mean, this is major support. Like, so you should get a bounce here, but you already did. You actually got this bounce here. Now you're back down to this level again, right? It's another altcoin. Like it depends on what Bitcoin's going to do. You know what I mean? If Bitcoin wants to make one more low, well, we probably see Crow come and tap this level. Right? I mean, it is what it is. This is a total non-biased approach for someone that's still in Crow. If Bitcoin bounces and does not go into the 70Ks again, guess what? Crow probably gets a bounce. But it is at a major level right now, dude. it is at a major level right now. Right? But the funny thing will be is if it does make another low, once again, if it does, I don't know if it will or not. If it does, you're going to have daily bullish divergence for like the first time since here, right? Right here, dude. Lower lows, higher lows, and you can see that that was the bottom before you had this big impulse. You actually had it here too. Lower lows, higher lows. That was the bottom, right? Bottom before big impulse, daily bullish divergence, bottom before big impulse. If you do see another low on Crow, you're going to have bullish divergence again. And that will probably be the bottom. Right? So one more low down. Maybe you don't go that low, but come down, make a higher low, bullish divergence. We work it out, and then we go again. Voila. Sayonara. Sayonara. I wish we already had it. I don't know. Depends on what Bitcoin's going to do. Maybe we don't have to go that low again. But yeah, it's Crow. Total non-biased approach. Right? Obviously, dude, I want this to just shoot up. I want this to just blast up into 96 cents. But I got to be non-biased and say that maybe we come and take out these lows. Maybe we do. And I'll tell you right now, if we do get 5.5 cent Crow, I will add more Crow if I do get that level. It's another like greedy level that I have. But it's only if we go down there. If we don't go down there, I don't want to buy more. If we do, I'll buy more. But only if we go down here. Not a penny more. Literally not a penny more than this. Not a penny more. Anyways, I'm like ranting right now, dude. Let's switch back to the good Bitcoin chart. Let's go back to the 50-week moving averages. It's kind of funny, man. I just kind of find this funny, man. 50-week moving averages. Fear and greed. Let's just combine all these. Get rid of the stupid RSI. This is not even accurate, bro. This is not accurate. It's because it's on the weekly. Oh, M2 money. M2 money liquidity offset. Yo, why is this all jacked up? Oh, because it's offset by offset by 50. But yeah, this is the chart I'm watching, guys. Bitcoin always follows the M2 money supply. It lags behind it by about 50 days. 50 days ago, the M2 money supply started to move up. So my guess is, though we may chop around and down here for maybe, another week or two, maybe we even see the mid 70Ks. My guess is Bitcoin will follow this again. Bitcoin will follow it again, just like it has every time. Right here. Whoop. Right here. Whoop. We're doing the whoop again. I'm going to scare your dogs. Whoop. Right there. Down. Whoop. Down. Whoop. Down. Whoop. But guess what? Now it's going up. Whoop. Somebody. Oh, shit. My guess is that this is going to come out of here following this with a little whoop eventually here. But yeah. We'll see how long it takes. It could take a little bit longer, man. It always takes longer than you expect. It always takes longer than you expect it to take. So mentally, I am prepared for more chop or even a lower low. But we may not get a lower low. But I'm mentally prepared for it. Ah, shit, dude. I am mentally prepared for a lower low. and I am mentally prepared for more chop. But after that is over, I'm expecting this to follow with the whoop back up. Oh, man. I should probably just keep this like this, to be quite honest. I probably just want to keep this like this. Ahmad say, can you check AR? Check AR. I mean, we can check AR if you want to. I would be so down to check AR. I don't know much about it. I really only look at like a few altcoin charts nowadays, dude. I look at like XRP, Chainlink, CRV, HBAR. Sometimes I look at Crow, even though Crow's been an absolute piece of ass. But yeah, all right, AR. I mean, man, look at the level. Look at the level, man. Whew, man. Look at the level. I mean, the level is undeniable. The level is undeniable, right? You had a fake breakdown here. You can even say this went slightly below the level. You even did it there. Look at the level, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the sixth time you're here, you had one false breakdown where you got back above. Now you've come all the way back down to that point. Another chart where it would make sense to bounce here. It would make sense to at least get a short-term bounce. Maybe not all the way back to the highs, but it would make sense to do, a retest of in here. It would make sense, right? Before, maybe going lower or reclaiming and then going higher, depending on, what's going on in the market. But at another level where it would make sense to get some type of bounce. Let's look and see. Yeah, I mean, it's another altcoin with bullish divergence at a major level, dude. So, like, will you bounce? Will you not bounce? I mean, we see many of these altcoins break down. Just look at Matic. It's not impossible. But, at least right now, into a major level with bull divs on the daily with extreme fear, right? So, like, will it hold or will it not hold? TA says it should, at least temporarily. But we've also had charts like this. And I don't know if you can use Matic as an example. Matic is just a piece of ass. But I don't know why I shit on Matic so much. Matic did nothing wrong. Matic did nothing wrong, right? But we've had, some alts that have just broken down from these major points. So it's not impossible you can't. It's literally not impossible that it can't. But yeah, man, you should bounce, like, just from a strictly technical level. You should get a relief bounce. If even if it's gonna eventually go lower, it would come and test into here at the very least, which actually would be a pretty nice move. That'd be like a 2x move in there. Look at Sweet. Oh, man. Another altcoin at a major level. Dude, you guys can see, some of these alts are just at major levels, man. Look at... Actually, it didn't quite come down to it yet. So maybe Swee's got a little bit lower to go, but... Let's look at Swee coming to test the April 2024 high and the October 2024 high. Man. This one, I mean, it has bullish divergence, but it's not the most compelling. I think this could get one more low. in my personal opinion. But I mean, it should still have the bull div. It's not that compelling because you didn't touch the level yet. I would like to see it actually come a little bit lower in here. Maybe that correlates with Bitcoin getting one more low, right? I mean, that's like what, another 11%. But it's there. I mean, the setup is there. I would like it a lot more if it was at 218. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, you can see all these altcoins at major levels, dude. We're like, you break this, it opens the door for much lower prices. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's not a coincidence that you got all these coins at like little bear market low supports or all-time high retests, and you got total market cap at the all-time high retest. Like, it's not a coincidence, man. Like, major levels across the board, man. Major levels across the board, and it's shown in total market cap. Like, total market cap is at the literal all-time high retest, and you got all these alts doing similar things. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely an interesting next few weeks, in my opinion. But I will say, we've been here before where, you know, we've talked about it a million times for Bitcoin. I'm not going to go over my whole spiel. Watch the first 15 minutes of this stream and you'll see exactly why I think the market's going to bounce. Multiple reasons why. We're not going to go over it again. And I also talked about where I could be wrong. Where could I be wrong? Break this. Break this on a weekly close, or Bitcoin break the 50-week moving averages on a weekly close. And I will say that I'm wrong. But until we do one of those two things, Bitcoin weekly close below the 50-week moving averages, or total market cap weekly close below the previous all-time highs, still going to remain a boolah until that point. None of them hold spot. Yeah, only hold spot, man. Leverage for fun. Leverage should be only for funsies, right? When you're bored, you enter some leverage trade, man. Other than that, dude, if you're going to be a trader, just trade spot. Just trade spot, man. You don't need leverage in crypto, right? You got a good setup on an altcoin, just buy it with spot and use that as a trade. You might not be able to short, but most people shouldn't be shorting because that takes like a different skill set, I think. But yeah, I've always thought about it like that. Like, leverage is for fun, but like if you want to be a trader, right? If you just have like aspirations of being a trader, right? Some of you guys just play the cycles. I'm cool with that. But if you want to be like a short-term trader or like a swing trader, you probably should just use spot until you're actually like profitable using spot. And then once you're profitable using spot, then you can go use leverage. But until you're profitable using spot, you're probably not going to be profitable using leverage. More than likely. We are getting Bitcoin. We are getting the corn. Let's zoom in on the corn, man. I want some good price action, man. But let's get the corn. We've talked about many things for the corn, but I want to get the corn rolling right now. I don't know about you guys, but I am prepared for one more lower chop. Edwin said you bought Link at 18 or 20-ish. Have you bought the current dip? No, I have not bought the current dip. I'm happy with my Link bag, man. I got Link bags from down here. I did buy around like somewhere over here too, but I'm happy with my Link bag. So the only ones I want to add to, and this is only if Bitcoin's going to get one more dip. If it doesn't, I'm locked and loaded. If it does, then I'll be happy. I would love to buy some more CRV. Just from the simple standpoint of, let me just go to the daily chart or the weekly. I would love to buy more CRV just from the simple standpoint of where it is. If Bitcoin gets one more dip and I can pick up some CRV sub 40 cents, again, I would pick up some more CRV if I can, but I'm just gonna be patient. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then Crow, I would love to pick up some more Crow, but only if I get like 5.5 cents. If I don't get 5.5 cents, I'm chilling. But if I get 5.5 cents, I'd love to buy some more Crow. Other than that, I'm happy where my shit lies. Where my shit lies, where I'm taking a shit. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's my biggest holding, so I'm not like too worried about picking up more BTC at the moment. But historically, like I said, in bull markets, if you still believe it's a bull market, buying retests of the 50-week moving averages has been the play in every bull market. 2017, 2020, 2024. Buying the 50-week moving average retests for Bitcoin has been the key. And then if it breaks below on a weekly close, you cut it. That's kind of been the play for Bitcoin. So if we do see maybe, low to mid 70Ks, could be something to look at. Holy shnikes. Matic might go negative. Dude, Matic is brutal, man. Matic just follows ETH, and the problem is ETH is so shit. But Matic is like an even more shittier version than ETH. You know what I mean? It's brutal. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a fantastic night. I'll be back on Thursday. So we'll see where we're at. Once again, we talked about everything. I still think Bitcoin can chop around for a little bit longer. I still think it can come test the 50-week moving averages. Don't be surprised if we see mid 70K BTC. All right, just don't be shocked. It's what we did here. It's what we did here. Doesn't mean we have to, but it's what we did in the last two consolidations. So just don't be shocked if Bitcoin makes one more lower low or chops until it hits those. But either way, once again, as long as total market cap holds the green box, I remain a bull. As long as Bitcoin holds the 50-week moving averages, I remain a bull. Simple as that. And if I get some better prices on some of these alts, I'll pick up some more. If not, I'm chilling. So that's really that, man. So have a good night. Peace out, guys. And I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Peace.